Welcome to the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, episode number 81. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Winston Churchill.
Broadcasting from the back alley in Hollywood, it's the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, where we show you how to survive and thrive as an indie filmmaker in the jungles of the film biz. And here's your host, Alex Ferrari.
Welcome, my Indie Film Hustlers, to a very special Indie Film Hustle Podcast. I am your humble host, Alex Ferrari. So, guys, today is the day that we launch our crowdfunding campaign for our little independent feature film, micro-budget feature film, This Is Meg. And you can go and check out our campaign at thisismeg.com. It'll go straight to our Seed and Spark campaign. If you can contribute anything, whether it be financially or with promoting the campaign and promoting and retweeting and reposting stuff that we post, that's great, but money is always helpful. We're trying to raise $15,000 for this project, and I have a couple of special treats for you guys later in the episode about that. So if you guys have ever gotten any sort of value from my podcast, from Indie Film Hustle, from a blog post, from a video I've posted, anything, please help me try to get this movie made. I really would appreciate it. If it's $5, that's fine. If it's $500, that's fine. If it's $5,000, that's fine too. Whatever you guys can do would be so appreciated. And I'm going a little beyond what normal filmmakers do with crowdfunding. I'm actually also creating the Indie Film Syndicate for you guys, so you guys can go in and see real detailed breakdown of how we're doing this. And we've already launched the Indie Film Syndicate. So that you can go to indiefilmsyndicate.com and check that out. And I want to give a big shout out to all the Indie Film Syndicate members that are already in, that were on the waiting list and jumped in early. So thank you so much. But if you go to the thisismeg.com crowdfunding campaign, if you contribute or donate, you will get special access to the Indie Film Syndicate and see what we're doing for either months or years, depending on the level you go into. So we've already started uploading some videos to the Indie Film Syndicate in regards to This Is Meg, but there's already, I think, over like 30 or 40 hours worth of content, plus every single podcast organized for your convenience as well. So this is a real exciting day for me, guys. I've been working really hard to try to launch this campaign, and I've never done this before, not like this. So I'm really excited. I'm kind of scared as well to see how it goes. We've got 30 days to get to our total. I hope that the tribe comes in and supports this project, because as you guys support me, I'm able to continue to give you something that I've never seen before, which is a complete all-access pass to seeing how a micro-budget film actually gets made. So thank you so much. And with that, I wanted to today's topic, which I think is a very appropriate, is the top 10 tips on how to launch a crowdfunding campaign for your film project. And like I said, I've been doing a lot of studying, and I've been taking a lot of courses and analyzing a lot of different campaigns. So these are top 10 tips of things that I found to be useful and pretty much agreed upon by all the experts as well. So let's get right to it. So tip number 1 is assemble a team ahead of time. I've actually been putting together a small launch team to help me launch today, to get the word out, and they're kind of like the army. They're the This Is Meg army, the Indie Film Hustle tribe army, going out there and hopefully posting, announcing to all of their fans, all of their communities to get the word out. So it's really helpful to build that team ahead of time. Now, that's part of the launch team. Then you have to have a core team of people behind you, whether that be a group of friends who are taking different areas of the launch, whether like, okay, you're going to handle social media, you're going to handle graphics, you're going to handle videos, you're going to handle all this kind of stuff. So you should have team members organized with that. And that should be hopefully people in your film crew, whether that be your producers, your writer, whoever can do the job properly. but you have to do this with a launch with a team. It's very, very difficult to do this by yourself. And trust me, I do a lot of things by myself. But when it came to this campaign, I am bringing in the big guns, if you will. So definitely assemble a team way before. I would say at least 30 to 60 days before you launch would be helpful. Second tip is that 30-day campaigns work the best. They are historically the most successful in campaign a film campaign. So don't go to a 45 or 60-day or 90-day, for God's sakes. It's too long to maintain that campaign. It's too long to keep that flow going. 30 days is for it takes forever. So believe me, I would definitely stick to a 30-day campaign. All the statistics say that works the best. So definitely do that. Tip number 3, keep your campaign page updated. So definitely update your page as often as you can with what's going on, what's happening with your movie, what's happening with the crowdfund campaign, and all that kind of stuff, as well as prepare ahead of time for stretch goals, because a lot of filmmakers underestimate what they think they can get and get that stretch goal ready. Because let's say you put out, oh, I only need $40,000 to make my movie, and all of a sudden you get 40,000 in a week. Well, what are you going to do for the next 3 weeks? You've got to create stretch goals, and then you have to understand what those stretch goals are going to do. You have to tell your community what those stretch goals are for, so you can hopefully get more money and make a better movie. God, I hope all of you have this problem, that you've made too much money and have no idea what to do with it. So let's all pray and hope that is the problem. Now, tip number 4, estimate your costs very carefully. A lot of times, filmmakers will um, just throw out a number, kind of like pulling it out of their butt. Like, yeah, it's $40,000. Well, what is that $40,000 for? And is that going to be enough to get you through the gambit, get you through the journey of making your film? And is it going to be just for pre-production, production, post-production, marketing expenses, deliverables, distribution expenses? All that kind of stuff has money attached to it. So if you're only going to do one campaign, which I suggest you don't do just one campaign. That's why I use Seed and Spark, because you can actually do it per category. So like you start off at pre-production, production, post-production, deliverables, and so on. But if you are only going to do one campaign to raise all of your money, make sure you estimate your costs very, very, very carefully. Tip number 5, study successes and failures. So I'm the kind of guy, I think you guys know by now, that I go deep down that rabbit hole in anything I do or attempt to do. So I've been watching so many pitch videos, analyzing so many different campaigns over the course of the last 30 to 60 days to see what works, what doesn't work, how they lay their campaign page out, how they put their videos together, what worked for certain genres, what didn't work for certain genres, and what failed miserably, and what was great successes. So definitely study people that have done this before, so you can learn from them. One campaign I loved was Kung Fury's campaign. If you haven't looked it up, if you haven't known about Kung Fury, just type in Kung Fury and you'll see it. It's a pretty cool campaign, and what that guy has been able to do with that project since the campaign is pretty crazy. So definitely check that one out. Tip number 6, give your fans an inside look. Now, by giving your fans an inside look, I mean like shooting behind the scenes videos. You can Snapchat, you can use Facebook Live or Periscope to give them a real inside look to your projects. I've taken it to the extreme by creating an entire membership site that will be giving them the entire educational journey of what we're doing with This Is Meg. So I've taken that concept and really just put it on steroids and just gone full blown with it. But you don't have to go that big. I would suggest that just, uploading videos, showing people who you are, what you're doing, really connect with them on an emotional and human level. You're an artist and you should be connecting with your fans in that way. So showing them how you're crafting a scene, what you're doing, how you're doing it is very, very fun for a lot of people. And what might seem boring to you because you might have done it a bunch of times is super exciting to someone who's never seen it before. So definitely give them an inside look. Now, tip number 7, add new perks throughout your campaign. So as we go forward through our campaign, we're going to be adding new perks based on what we kind of feedback we get from our community, from you, the tribe, and also Jilly's fans and all the other people that we're going to hopefully gather and get the word out on the campaign. So we have a bunch of other perks kind of lined up, but also a lot of other people like, hey, we really would like to get tickets to the um, to the premiere of the movie. Or something along those lines. So we'll create those perks as we get forward, and also by updating and putting new perks in, it keeps things a little fresh, and people get more excited about certain things. And believe me, a 30-day campaign is it's a marathon. So you have to do things to keep things going. After also doing my research, I found that the most successful campaigns on all platforms added at least between 10 to 15 new perks throughout their campaign. As other perks fill up or gone, they keep adding new things to keep things really exciting and fresh. Now, tip number 8, include affordable perks. So, a lot of people can't throw down $100, $200, $500, or $1,000 or higher, but they might be able to throw in 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, $5. And you should make things available up to like between a $5 and $30 range. Another little side tip on incentives or perks is at $25, you've got to give them access to the movie. Like, that's kind of shady if you don't. So whether that be a DVD, whether that be a digital download. Now, when they get access to it, it's a whole other story because you have to wait for distributions and so on and so forth. But you will have to give them access to your movie at one way, shape, or form, whether that be private links through Vimeo or through your own distribution platform, whatever it might be. You have to give them access to your movie at the $25 or above incentive or perk. And also, guys, when you're doing these incentives, make sure you do your math, man, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm going to give you a DVD and I'm going to give you a T-shirt at $25." Well, I'm like, "Well, the T-shirt's costing you $10 to make, and your DVD's costing you another $5 to make, $5 or $10 to make. Let's say that you're not doing a big run of DVDs, and you're gonna spend $6 to make, $7 to make a DVD, and $10 to make a T-shirt because you're not making 1,000 of them. Well, that's $17. Don't forget the commission that the platform's gonna take, which can be anywhere between 3 to 7% off the top, and then on top of that, you've got to ship this stuff. So then you have to take care of shipping as well. So all of a sudden, that $25 donation turns into either a dollar donation, or actually you lose money in the donation. So please do your math on your perks or incentives, because if you don't, it's gonna you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, and it's not gonna make a lot of sense. Now, I know this next tip, this is tip number 9, is it's gonna seem very rudimentary or obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Include a pitch video. You got to include a pitch video, guys. Don't launch a campaign without a pitch video. And considering that you guys are not making that transforming pen that makes your coffee kind of product, you're making a film. So that stuff, your pitch video better look good, better sound good, because the quality of your pitch video will tell your fans or potential donators or contributors the quality of the movie. So if you make a really crappy pitch video, they're going to go, well, if they made a really crappy pitch video, they're probably not going to make a really good movie. So why am I going to donate any money or contribute any money to this campaign? So you really got to make it look good. Sound is super huge, guys. It's not a big deal to get good sound. You could either borrow a good, decent mic, on Amazon. I know a lot of filmmakers out there are like a bare budget, but the mic you're listening to right now is an Audio Technica mic that I bought on Amazon for like $79, and it's amazing. It's a USB or XLR mic, and it's $79, and it sounds just like you're hearing right now. It sounds awesome. So you could either put it right above you with a boom pole that costs you another $30-$40, a really cheap one, and have someone hold it, or you can, rig it somehow so it's just above you and get it really close to your mouth, as close as you can while being out of frame, and you've got good audio. Now, you can record that directly into your camera, but I would record it into something like a little Tascam or a little Zoom or something like that. That will give you good audio, and I can give you we're going to talk all about audio inside the syndicate about that. But those are just quick tips on really good audio. And I say that because audio is the one thing that people tend not to forgive. They'll forgive bad picture, but they will not forgive bad audio. So, and I've seen so many pitch videos that the audio was just bad. And they might have good images, but the audio is bad. I'm like, guys, couldn't you get a freaking mic for God's sakes? So sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Make sure you make it look as good as possible. Don't make it so polished that you're like, well, why the hell do we need money if these guys can do all this crazy stuff? Just make it real, make it good, make it fun and interactive. Watch a ton of videos. I'm also going to put a link in the show notes. This amazing course that Emily Best and the good folks over at Seed and Spark put together. It's a free course on YouTube. I put them all up on Indie Film Hustle. There's about 11 classes of 5 minutes each or something like that teach you through the entire gambit of how to actually put together a really successful crowdfunding campaign. And I would advise everybody who's going to do a crowdfunding campaign, whether you're going to do with Seed and Spark or Indiegogo or Kickstarter, watch that video, watch that course. It's really, 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 really good. So the last tip number 10, build an audience. I can't tell you how much I have to impress upon you. You need an audience, guys. I always say it, but when you're going to try to crowdfund, you better have an audience or understand where the audience for your movie is. So if you're making a horror movie, go to all the horror Facebook groups, go to all the horror forums, do all of that and just see where they hang out. And then ask them during the process, hey guys, I'm making a horror movie. What would you guys like to see in it? And start building that community up. Start building up that excitement of people like, oh, wow, this would be great. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. And all of a sudden they're invested in your project before they've ever even donated a dime. So that's a good way. And this takes time, guys. This takes, if you're just doing it for a specific movie, it could take 3, 4, 5 months. I would suggest at least 6 months to a year prior to start building it up. And then as you get closer and closer, start doing it. You could do it probably within a 6-month time period. Anything shorter than that, as far as building it to a big point, is going to be harder. But even if you have 30 days to 60 days, at least understand where everybody is. And at least that way you can target them very specifically when you're going after your core audience. But ideally is to build an audience. It's taken me about 9 months or so now to build an amazing audience or almost 10 months now to build an amazing audience with the tribe, with you guys, the Indie Film Hustle tribe. And, I hope that it all works out and you guys help me out with this project, with all the great stuff that I've given you over the past almost year. But that's the goal, is hopefully you can provide valuable content, value to your audience in one way, shape, or form. And again, like I've said before, it doesn't have to be tutorials or podcasts talking about the making of or something like that. It could be humor. Look at Kung Fury. Their campaign was amazing. Their social media is amazing. And they're just showing you, they're basically providing value in entertainment and making you laugh and making you smile and making you nostalgic for wonderful 80s cheese, if you will. So that definitely, guys, build that audience up so you can hopefully tap that audience to help you make your movie and sustain you through many other projects to come. And I did study many filmmakers who have done not one, not two, but 5 or 10 different crowdfunding campaigns that have crowdfunded multiple projects for them, whether they be TV series or web series, short films, feature films, docs. All just people continue to follow them because they love what they're doing. So that is a very big tip. Tip number 10. And then as a bonus one, guys, network. I know that sounds weird, but just network. Network with other sites. Network with other people who can help you in your genre or what you're trying to do with your crowdfunding campaign. So if you are doing, like I always use a horror because it's easy, but if you're doing a horror movie, it would be beneficial for you to kind of build relationships with horror film websites, or horror sites that will love what you're doing. And that's what I've been doing with Indie Film Hustle. I've actually networked with a ton of different filmmaking websites. I'm going to be launching, I think today, with at least 2, if not 3 podcasts talking about the Indie Film Syndicate, This Is Meg, the crowdfunding campaign, the whole ball of wax, because I've been able to build up those relationships over the course of the last almost year or so. So it's been it's something that you should definitely look into if you're trying to do a crowdfunding campaign. Definitely network with people or websites, organizations within the genre or kind of project you're trying to do. So that's it, guys. Those are the top 10 plus a little bit more tips on how to launch a crowdfunding campaign. And we will be going through, as I said, in the Indie Film Syndicate and also in podcasts and other things like that, articles over the course of the next 30 days, talking about how the crowdfunding campaign is doing, what I'm doing to promote it. If you guys really want to see some cool and innovative, I think innovative marketing techniques on how to push a crowdfunding campaign out there, definitely keep a close eye on our social media and our on our Facebook page, our Twitter page specifically, but also on our Facebook page, our Pinterest, Instagram, and so on, because I'm going to be doing some stuff I've never seen before. And I'm really curious to see if it's going to work. But I'm going to do some cool stuff and just keep an eye out. And after the campaign is over, I will release all of my secrets. I'll do a podcast about it and just kind of tell you guys some of the highlights of what happened with the crowdfunding campaign and what marketing techniques worked and what marketing techniques did not work. But I hope that this episode and my whole experience going through this whole crowdfunding campaign is that it's not this mountain, this massive mountain that you can't climb yourselves to create your own projects. Guys, I mean, even if you're trying to raise $2,000 for a short film, $1,000 for a short film, you can do it. It's not out. I mean, you believe it or not, there you have a community already. It's your friends and family. And then from there, you start building off that as your foundation, and then you start building up farther and farther and farther, and you provide more and more value out there for other people. Again, don't forget that value is so important. Provide value, provide an outlet for them. I can't tell you how much help I've gotten purely because of having a a very big filmmaking podcast or having indiefilmhustle.com. Because I've been able to build up this audience. It is super, super important, guys. So provide that value and doors will open for you. I guarantee it. Trust me, I guarantee it. So this is doable, guys. You can do it. There's no question about it. I'm talking a lot of smack now because I haven't even, we don't even know how much money we're going to make with this. It might fall flat on its face. And that's the exciting part about this whole journey for me, man. I am putting myself out there in a big, big way. I can fail miserably. I cannot raise the money for the campaign. I can make a horrible, horrible movie. I can, that's not going to do well. There's a lot of things that I can just fall flat on my face. But you know what? I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be brave and whatever. I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. And I have a confidence in myself and what I'm able to do to hopefully make a really, really amazing film and hopefully raise enough money to make that film in the way that I want to make it. And we're not asking for a lot of money. It's really a small amount of money in the grand scheme of things, a $10,000 or $15,000 feature film with the kind of cast that we have is very, very small. So I'm hoping that that somebody else sees the value in what we're trying to do. So thank you guys so much for all your support. And again, anything you can do to help with the making of This Is Meg, whether that be promoting it through your social media or donating even as small as $5 or as big as I think $2,500 is our biggest incentive right now. Please do so. It really would help a lot, and it would mean personally a tremendous amount to me. So thank you so much. Again, those websites are thisismeg.com to go and check out our crowdfunding campaign. See how I laid it all out, by the way. Watch it. Look at it. Because trust me, what I did was studying a lot of different successful campaigns. So whatever you see there is a combination of all of these elements from all these other really successful campaigns. So definitely take a look at how I laid everything out. Take a look at our pitch video. See how we created that pitch video. I'm going to do in the syndicate, we're actually going to do a whole breakdown on how and why we created, how we edited the video, how we shot the video, how we went back and did reshoots for the video, how we did different edits so you can kind of see the progression of from the original edit 1 to the final version so you can see what we cut out, how we tightened it, how we grew it, and so on. So take a look at our pitch video and learn from what we did. Again, it might fall flat on our face, but again, this is based off of a lot of research. So definitely take a look at it. thisismeg.com. If you want the show notes for all those links I was talking about, as well as the link to this amazing mic that I'm talking on, go to indiefilmhustle.com/081. And of course, if you want to check out the Indie Film Syndicate, go to indiefilmsyndicate.com. That's Indie Film Syndicate, SYNDICAT.com. Thank you guys so much. I really humbly appreciate everything you guys have done, and hopefully we'll be doing in the next 30 days for Indie Film Hustle, for the tribe, and for this humble filmmaker just trying to make his first feature film. Keep that hustle going, keep that dream alive, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Indie Film Hustle podcast at indiefilmhustle.com. That's INDIEFILMHUSTLE.com.